Hey, it's me V from Drive and Thrive, where we're hauling freight across the 48. All right, so we have Arsenio here, and
What's going on, guys?
all right, and we are in Atlanta, Georgia. Actually, we're in a specific.
No.
What's it called?
Amaretta said Forest Park is not Atlanta.
Oh my gosh.
This is not Atlanta.
Yeah, I heard that whole song or whatever. Like, we're not from Atlanta, Georgia, so it's all Atlanta to me. I haven't even really been here for, I would have to say, probably like 10 years or more.
You never came for me, so.
Yeah, like I didn't really go with him. He's been here a couple of times, whereas I don't know. The only reason why I would come to Atlanta is because I have family on my grandmother's side down here. Other than that, and then there are people who usually like to take trips down here, but when I was a kid, my experiences being in a car, going through all the traffic and stuff, and just that congested feeling, or like just, I remember being car sick, and I just did not want to come back to Atlanta, like, after that. So, well, I mean, other than that, it's not like we really saw a lot of the place, because we went down where, like, which way did we come down?
We came down, let's see, came from Chattanooga, of course, which Chattanooga on I-24 is always crazy. They're doing, I don't even know if they was even doing construction today. It was just a lot of traffic for no damn reason. Nashville wasn't too bad. So you come from I-65 South, which was Nashville, then get over to 24, which is Chattanooga, and then once you pass Chattanooga, you get into 75, which is Georgia, which was pretty smooth sailing, pretty much, until you get to 285, which was kind of a backup, but it wasn't too bad. So we got through it pretty good.
Well, yeah. I don't know. He's able to navigate roads and such. I'm getting a lot better as far as finding which way to go, or where we are, as far as, like, are we farther up north, or are we farther south? Other than that, I'm still kind of we're just kind of on directions. But, like, he's the type of person who could tell me like stuff about, like, how many miles somewhere is, and I'm sitting up here like, well, how, like, how many hours or how many minutes is that? I don't really do all the, like, oh, we 500 miles. What does that mean? So he's like,
I mean, when it comes to, like, my old company that I work for, we can only go like 65 miles an hour. So I always did, okay, let's just say we go 60 miles. So of course it's 60 miles. If we go 60 miles per hour. So of course if we do 60 miles per hour, of course it's gonna take us an hour to get 60 miles. So I just always just base it on that. So usually if you see a sign that says, I don't know, 240 miles from some point, then you got at least 4 hours drive until you get there. Could be give or take. Of course, it's gonna be a little bit faster because I'm going at least faster than 60 miles an hour. But that's just kind of, I don't know, just simple math for me. It's just kind of be like, okay, this how long I've got to take, and that's it for me.
Okay, well,
It always works.
Okay, well, it's just not me. So I know that with us being, on the truck together, like, there's just certain things that I would have to say, being a couple out here, I'm gonna say, for me, like, what do you think, just me and you being out here, like, has that been worrisome for you, or has that helped you out?
You talking about you?
Well, yeah, like, just me.
No, I mean, of course you gotta adjust to a couple of things, because when you out here by yourself, you can kind of, unfortunately, for some of us guys, we don't have to take a shower every single day. We can probably go, the most I go is probably like maybe a day without a shower, but I usually keep wipes. But when you have
mean, he makes like I have to have like the red carpet out or some shit. And it's really, I mean, it's really not. It's just that I can't just go out here and take a piss like a dude does or something like that. Like, I can't do all that. Like, I understand there's gonna be like emergency situations where you just gonna have to like put your big girl panties on and, you know, drop it low and pee or something, you know. But for the most part, if we could just avoid all of that and just stop at a truck stop and not like just, you know, be on the shoulder of a road or something, which, you know, I feel like that's kind of dangerous to do or risky to do unless unless you're really tired, like you really got to pull that shit over. There should not be a reason to really be parking on the shoulder like that.
Nah, I absolutely do no shoulder parking because, man, I even know somebody personally who brother was killed because they didn't see it. Of course, they coming off the shoulder, you know what I'm saying, trying to get on either I can't remember the interstate or just the road, and the truck was just sitting right there. He just ran right into him.
Dang.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why I don't know. It's just safer for me to just find somewhere that a truck is supposed to be to park. Most truckers do it though. I mean, that I don't knock it if you do it, but that's just, you know, for me, I'm not doing it. I don't care how tired I am, how many hours I'm almost done with or about to run out with. I'm gonna park where a truck is supposed to be.
I see. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that, you know, being a woman out here, being out here like in the truck stop and things like that is, you know, the thing is that I don't mind. I'm not this, like, I am the type of personality type, like, I adjust to a lot of different situations. So it's, you know, I would say if you really, you know, want to go on the road with your significant other, or even if you want to get your own CDL and y'all want to team drive or whatnot, it really depends upon if you really, I would have to say, if your significant other is almost like your best friend, or like y'all really get along with each other, because I know that there are couples that are together but they're not the type of people who are good work buddies and things like that, or like best friends like that. Sometimes you have the type of couples or people that would, you know, they spend time away from each other because that's where they kind of get they recharge, and then they're able to come together again, you know. But and if you're that type of person, or y'all that type of couple, I wouldn't think this would be for you, because
because I mean, you got truckers that say they'll see you and they're like, oh man, I can't bring my wife on the road. I need my time to myself, or too much nagging and stuff going on, so I gotta have that time where, you know what, let me stay out for 2 or 3 weeks and then I come back and see the family or whatnot. I mean, with me, it's just, it's easy for me. I don't have no problem with you at all. It's just, like I said, the main thing is just adjusting your time to where, instead of parking at rest areas and stuff like that, or maybe even a Walmart, you make sure you park somewhere where, you know, like I said, it's 24-hour showers, bathrooms, and, you know, good parking. That's it.
What was that? I don't know what.
Oh, it's that thing that just finally fell over.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then,
might have take one out. Shit, they ain't supposed to hear me cuss like this.
I've already been setting it up like, say, it's not for children. Like, we are grown adults here. Like, adults cuss and say some things like, you know, you don't work long enough and been adulting long enough to be saying some things here and there to express yourself. So, other than that, it's, you know, I would have to say, like, it's not, because there are definitely some places that are not the most hygienic of places. And especially, I would have to say, like, your busy truck stops, like, that have a whole bunch of people coming in and out of the place. Like, because, I would have to say, because, like, during and after, like, I don't know if we're even after the pandemic. Are we after the pandemic? I don't even know. But it seems like, as during that time, there's just not enough people to be working at a lot of these stations and things like that to keep, to keep the bathrooms clean, to keep things stocked, to make sure everything is running smoothly. And so you gonna get some places that look really bad, or like haven't been cleaned in a good while, or and things like that. And so you have to make sure that you have everything. Like sometimes I'm pretty sure there are drivers that might have to bring in their own toilet paper and things like that, because the only place to use the bathroom don't have the toilet paper that's inside of it, because nobody stocked it up. Or like there's other challenges out there as far as like even trying to get supplies or get things to eat that's not so heavy and things like that. Because it's one thing, you don't want to be eating crazy out here, because right now we're at a receiver, but nobody's here. Like the place is basically closed. So if you sat up here and went out and got some Arby's, had some curly fries, and one of they sandwiches full of meat and cheese and all this other stuff, and then you end up going to a receiver, and there's nobody here, that means there's no bathroom. There's nobody to open a bathroom for you. And sometimes they have porta potties and things like that, but in this case I ain't seen no porta potties out here. So like if you done sat up here and ate some heavy meal and stuff like that, and you gotta go and you're stuck here overnight, until the next day when you get unloaded, you basically ain't got no place to be taking a dump. Like, yeah. Basically.
And then like going back to what you were saying earlier, man, pandemic wise it was crazy, because some truck stops wouldn't even, well, they either didn't have toilet paper or they didn't put nothing out there because of the risk of people trying to steal it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something else too as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but going back to what you said last, man, that's the reason why a lot of times I don't really, when I know I'm gonna have to stay at a shipper for a while, or I read the reviews and know I'm gonna be there at least 10 hours or something like that, I really won't eat. Mm-hmm. Before I get there, because of that same exact situation, or that same exact reasoning, where you really don't want to go in bags. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a bucket on the truck, so hey, I'm gonna wait till I have to go to the bathroom. So, in order for you not to go to the bathroom on yourself, like we did, we stopped at not a Love's, but we stopped at a Pilot. Either got something small to eat, use the bathroom there, especially if you gotta take a dump or something like that, and then just sit here and wait, because I think I'm not gonna get unloaded until 3 in the morning. At this time it's 6:18. So that's a pretty long time without taking a dump or anything like that. So but it's a sacrifice you gotta do. By the time I get done, I will I will have a new clock. Then I'll be able to go to the next place. But, in Atlanta, parking is terrible out here. So, sometimes you're just going to have to deal with what you got.
Well, like, do you feel like it's worse here, or is it worse in California? Or, like, LA, excuse me?
Oh, yeah, definitely worse in LA. Well, there's a Petro around here, but in LA, there's not like a real truck stop.
No.
What I call real truck stops.
Yeah.
Until you hit Ontario. Yeah, that's about it. Really, Ontario, unless you want to just park on the side of the street.
Cause like,
which I've parked on the side of the street before, which I haven't been tagged. I haven't really had any problem or issues. It's just the fact that when you bring a family on the truck with you, it's kind of hard to be like,
Yeah,
because your wife don't want to be sitting on the side of the street.
Yeah. I don't mind that kind of stuff. The only time I would have to say, like, if you're a driver and you decide to want to, bring your wife, or bring your husband, whatever, like, that's not a driver, then you kind of have to understand, like, their personality. Like, are they the type of people who can, make changes and adjust? Are they going to be cool with, sleeping in cramped quarters? Because, you got the 2 bunks. Sometimes like there are trucks that only have a single bed, and things like that, and being in places where you're not really available to go to the bathroom, and these are things like a lot of everyday people don't really be thinking about. Like, people don't realize that like drivers really have it tough, because especially during the pandemic, because like there was whole like restaurants and places that truckers normally were able to go to that were shut down, and they didn't have no places to eat or places to go, and they were just stuck inside the truck. Walmart or some other stores were probably one of the few places that they could go to maybe grab a place to eat or like grab a bite to eat. But then after a while, like the Walmart stopped being 24 hours. So, because not all drivers are able to, stop during the day. Sometimes it's nighttime when they stop rolling, and then everything is closed.
Right, and then also you gotta think about it too. I mean, cut you off.
No, you good.
But also think about like how many country prides are open in TAs. Most of them been shut down because of either lack of staff. During this whole pandemic, there's been McDonald's, Arby's. Even though I don't really eat McDonald's that much, or Arby's, I don't eat at all. But I mean, some of those places may have like 1 or 2 people in. They gotta shut it down early, like around 8, 9 o'clock, when most drivers are usually getting done, taking a shower. Then they want to eat something by that time, but you don't really have anything to eat. So that's another reason why I really jumped on salads. I mean, it's good and it's bad, because it keeps you from eating the crazy stuff, but at the same time, you want something hot when you get done driving. Yeah. So I mean, that's how we have it sometimes.
Cause like after a lot of like the stressful traffic and dealing with crazy drivers and everything, and then sometimes you end up in like these situations where like you might like almost got into an accident or something like that. Like, after all of that, like the mountain full of emotions and bullshit that you have to go through, you just want something to kind of like help you power down. Like, I can understand why some drivers prefer to like eat certain foods, or like comfort food, or something that tastes good instead of like something that really is good for them, because of all of that. Because at the end of the day, it's like you want to just do what you want to eat, do what you want to do, chill, lay down and things like that. But you can't really do that because you've been sitting down the whole entire day. So you need to be taking some type of time out for your health and eating, certain, alternative foods that are going to do more good than harm to you. So, going back to the whole, trying to, find out if you want to take, your wife or significant other out here on the road. Hey, I mean, if you get along and things like that, and it shouldn't be a problem for you. I don't really complain much about anything other than like if I gotta go, to the bathroom, I gotta go to the bathroom. And the only thing that, like, to me, it just kind of makes me nervous, because I don't want to be going on like all these stops, because I'm like, he's at work, so it's like I gotta make sure, like, once the 30-minute goes off, like, make sure that I go to the restroom, get that all out. If I want to get some, something to eat or a snack or something, just try to limit the time, because like we're on a schedule to make it to somewhere on time. So there's that. So
yeah, I mean, even from that, the reason why I do it is because every minute counts.
Yeah.
And so when I try to leave early, I think I brought this up in a couple videos before about trying to get to a truck stop before it gets crazy, before that whole, I'll say 5 to 6, kind of depending on where you're at, of course, what city you're in. But try to get to a truck stop before 5. You almost always get a parking spot. But of course, you can't be stopping here and there, looking at everything, because if you stop once you stop, the wheels stop.
Mm-hmm.
And once the wheels stop, the money stops.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's just my mindset. It always just tells me just keep the wheels rolling. I mean, of course if you gotta take a break, take a break. You know, you gotta use the bathroom, stretch your legs, do all that, do it. But you know what I'm saying. But I usually don't. I would say I don't stop more than once I get rolling, maybe more than twice. Once or twice, use the bathroom, take a 30-minute break, or I might get some fuel, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I just try to keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Try to stay on my schedule that I have set in my head.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. Like this. But I know, like for me, there's times where I have to, be off the truck, and because I have, because I'm a mom too, so there's things that I have to, tend to at home. But I do realize that it helps him out with, I guess, like if you could say, his morale, like to have me out on the road every so often with him. So because it could be lonely being out here as a driver, and you're not really getting in communication with a lot of people. Of course, people be like, well, you can do a video chat or be on the phone with them, and some people ain't like that. Some people are like, I don't care to be on the phone with somebody.
I hate being on the phone.
Like they want to have somebody, to somebody that they could be with and see and talk to, and hug and love on, stuff like that. Just being real is for some people it's more than just hearing a voice on the phone, because and it's crazy because you would think that that would be okay, or that, and it's just not enough, because it's like if I'm sitting up here calling him, like I'm calling him, his sister's calling him, then it's like he gets calls from the broker and the dispatcher. Like it's like somebody is always trying to stay in connection with him all the time. So just to have somebody to actually be around, to actually talk to, or like just having that presence being there, I think just really helps them out. Because some people, some drivers probably even give up just because they're not around their favorite people, or at least one person that they would appreciate being out here.
Right.
So
yeah, it definitely helped me, because what?
No.
You okay?
No, it's like a sulfur smell or something. What was that?
Oh, okay. I don't know. I smelled that. Right.
Yeah, like I was like, somebody farted here. Like,
But yeah, I mean, we're going back to what I was saying. It helps, having somebody to talk to, because, like I said, I hate being on the phone. So I'd rather talk to you in person, or face to face. And being on the phone is like, you're sitting there, you're watching traffic, and it's like sometimes you kind of get, even with you being here, sometimes I kind of get off focus because I'm so focused on the road and making sure I don't hit nobody and they don't hit me. And so, yeah, I mean, having you on here definitely been a blessing.
Oh, thank you so much. I tend to enjoy coming out here because, other than that, like, I'm at home, I'm trying to help out with homeschooling and things like that, because my daughter is virtual. So, there's a lot of things that I help her with that. And then sometimes I end up getting, I get a little cabin fever. So I come out for, maybe a week or so or two, and, every so often, and then, ride out, and just to get, be able to see the scenery and things like that. Go to some interesting places I've never been to. Because definitely, like, when we spent, like, most of the summer out here one time, and that was real interesting. And, we got to collect different magnets from different states that we never got to go into and see and explore. So that was really nice to do, and definitely enjoyed that. Of course, we ended up getting stuck in some places from time to time. Had to get towed out of some places and stuff, because like I never really realized like we got to go into like certain types of terrain that I've never really experienced. Like I got to see like a dust storm. I ain't never been, like, and that was what, in Arizona, New Mexico.
No, that was New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah, I believe I-10. If I'm not mistaken.
And then like I got to, and then we went through like some Native American reservations. I've never really seen stuff like that. And then there's like, of course we've stopped at some casinos, but at that time we didn't like play at casinos except for like Reno. But other than that, like we would just stop there to get something to eat or something like that, but we wouldn't really stop to play. And then like they have, because we were raised in Alabama, so there's that whole thing. We didn't have no casinos. There's no lottery, no casinos, no nothing. You don't gamble, nothing. If you wanted to do all that, you got to either go to Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi.
Everybody would go to Corinth, Mississippi.
Yeah, Corinth, Mississippi, or is that Tunica?
Yeah, Tunica.
Yeah, Tunica. So there's that. So actually going into some places like that was really interesting for me. And then like actually getting to go to like a gas station that sells beef brisket sandwiches like on the west coast, like the west side of America. And that was it Twin Peaks? And is that Arizona or New Mexico?
That's Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, like that's a good beef brisket sandwich, I don't have to say. And the facility is really clean. Like and I think it was owned by Native Americans.
Correct. They still make you wear a mask. They did temperature checks at the door.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, if you're gonna be in there for a little bit, just put on the mask.
Yeah.
Just have your temperature taken and just go about your day.
And they keep their places really clean, and everything is most of the time is well stocked, and then the food was fresh. So it's really good. And what else was out there? Like the thing is, like one of my least favorite places to go to has to be or like during that time, I think it was LA, because the traffic was horrendous. The traffic is absolutely horrendous. And I can see why, like, he would talk about, like, because even when I see lists or ads for like trucking companies, they'll say like they'll even make it a thing to advertise that they don't go out to California or they don't go out to New York. And I think that's one of the reasons, especially with LA, because like he said, they're not really trucker friendly. Like we ended up, like he said, we were on the side of a street having to park, and then we ended up Postmating Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Right. So, and that was my first time having that. I ain't never had that before. But it's really not like that. Like there's not like a real truck stop or anything like that. Until like you get to like maybe a certain area or certain places outside of LA, and then it's like for all this work, and it's so weird because it's like y'all need all this shit from us, but y'all don't give us a place to park. That's the thing that kind of pisses me off.
They try to haggle you too. I remember that one guy that was trying to get that trailer washout. Mm-hmm. And normally a trailer washout would be 60. A little 40 or 60, but I had some bags in the back that I think it was dividers to keep the product kind of like in a stable mode position. So I told them, I was like, hey, you need to take these bags out, if you can, and then also just the trailer. And they were like, yeah, we can do it for what did he start off with at first? I think he started off 70. And I was like, okay, cool, we can do 70, whatever the case may be. But then all of a sudden it was more like, no, I think we need to do 90. I was like, 90? No, bro, you already said 70, so don't be trying to jip me.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know, like, what are you trying to, because like...
Oh, hey, how you doing?